Hello, and welcome to the exciting and enchanting world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Noki, and you are watching Noki Talks. Today, I will be outlining a general breakdown of many of the awesome games that have been announced, revealed, and released in the past month, and my general reaction and excitement to them. Obviously, with E3 wrapping up, the past week of reveals or so have delivered tons of great games that will be coming out in the coming year into next year. Many of these games have people like me chomping at the bit to dive into these gaming experiences. As many of you know, Sony was not present at this year's E3 conference, leaving little to discuss by way of PlayStation announcements. However, many of the games that were revealed will be released on their platform as well. Microsoft also didn't have much by way of a traditional E3 conference. However, they used this platform to unveil their brand new next generation console, Project Scarlet. I gotta say, the overall announcement and reveal was pretty awe-inspiring, and the way that the developers and producers of this system describe the experience that we'll be getting from the system gets me extremely excited to see what is to come. The main highlight for the reveal of this console was the announcement of Halo Infinite, the next generation of Halo experience. Now myself, I haven't been much of a Halo player since the early days, but the overall theme, look, and feel of the game have me extremely excited to get back into that world. It's definitely no argument that Nintendo of all had the largest presentation at this year's gaming conference, which does make sense considering the Switch is still in its early years on the market. There weren't really any games in particular that I was disappointed seeing, as it seems Nintendo is really trying to focus on providing a gaming experience for all of its demographic, though there were some that I was exceptionally excited for a little more than others. For new game reveals, the sequel to Zelda Breath of the Wild looks like it is a continuation of what we saw in the first game. And from the comparison in graphics, at least from the trailer we saw, it looks to be updated and looking fantastic. The story seems to be centered around something buried deep beneath Hyrule Castle, possibly Ganondorf, and I'm highly interested to see where this game goes and when it will be released. No More Heroes 3 is a game that was speculated to be coming for some time, and the development studio had asked for help from the fans to finish, but it looks to be a pretty fun and entertaining game. The main character somewhat reminds me of a Tony Stark-esque type from Marvel, but set in a much more dysfunctional world. It'll be fun to check this game out when it finally releases in 2020. Mario and Sonic Olympic Games looks to be yet another great multiplayer experience on the Switch. Along with the likes of Super Smash Bros., Mario Tennis Aces, and Super Mario Party, this adds to the growing collection of family fun and large group entertainment on this console. It also sets a growing trend of Nintendo taking some of their older franchises and series and updating them for the Nintendo Switch platform. The Elder Scrolls Blades got me so excited about a game that I must admit I really didn't know much about before. That's sad because I thoroughly enjoyed playing through Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim, though haven't had the opportunity to play Elder Scrolls Online and don't play a lot of games on my mobile device, so never really looked into Blades. Now that it is coming to the Switch, however, and will still be a free download, I will most certainly be finally checking this game out. Panzer Dragoon is a game franchise I experienced when I was very young and don't really have too many memories of it. So seeing this game brought onto the modern system has me very interested to try it out and really remember what it's all about and experience it again. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt was a game that many people never believed could actually make it onto this handheld platform. But here we sit with its reveal and coming release. I never had the opportunity to play any of the Witcher games, though I did watch them being played and they seemed like great games. A lot of complex depth and amazing graphics. I'm very excited to have this experience on my Switch and see this world I've been missing out on firsthand. Now for game updates and release dates. For Smash Bros. Ultimate, we were introduced to new characters coming in DLC, hailing from the Dragon Quest franchise and Banjo-Kazooie, a childhood favorite of many people. The Dragon Quest characters are set to be released this summer, while Banjo-Kazooie will be coming out to us this fall. Luigi's Mansion 3 was only barely teased during its initial announcement, but now we were given a much more in-depth look at the game, its mechanics, and frankly how awesome it looks. My most anticipated part of the game probably is the multiplayer mode they showed off, but there are so many functions to this game that look like it'll keep players coming back for more. Zelda Link's Awakening was given its release date of September 20th, along with the reveal of its Dungeon Maker mode, which honestly looks awesome. This overall game is one that I cannot wait to pick up and enjoy with my family in just a couple of months. We were given a new Ultimate Alliance 3 trailer as well, which gave us the first glimpse of all new characters in the game such as Miles Morales and many of the X-Men. I am thrilled to get this game in July and see just how many iconic characters from the Marvel roster made it into the game. Spyro Reignited finally coming to the Switch is a relief, as it seemed as though it was never going to happen. Spyro played a big role in my early gaming days, and I absolutely loved the wisecracking purple dragon and the adventures you would go on with him. I'm very excited to finally be playing this game again when it releases September 3rd. I think my family is going to absolutely love it. Cadence of Hyrule is a game that I have been eagerly awaiting ever since it was given its reveal months ago. As a musician and lover of music in general, I love the idea of a game with music that is tied into the gameplay. Not only that, but the game itself looks like a lot of fun and the music tracks sound awesome. Animal Crossing is another franchise that I have never had the opportunity to experience, but have been very interested in doing so. The prospect of New Horizon coming to the Switch has me very excited to finally see it for myself. It does look like the game is being pushed back until early 2020 to assure proper development time, but it seems like from what we've seen so far, it will be worth the wait. And now for some Pokemon Sword and Shield news we received. Pokemon Sword and Shield was revealed to work with the Pokeball Plus. However, not as a controller function like before in Let's Go, but rather as a Pokewalker to take any Pokemon from the game out with you. We were also informed of somewhat unexpected news, being that not all 800 Pokemon will transfer from the old generations into these new games, but rather only the Pokemon that are in the Galar Regional Pokédex. Now, I can see both sides to this argument, and for me it's really difficult to come to a definitive stance. I will say I can understand why developers would like to scale back the amount of Pokemon as not to overcrowd the games and give new Pokemon and lesser used Pokemon a time to shine. However, I also can understand how disappointed many players, including myself, will feel when we learn of which of our favorite Pokemon have been taken out of the games. It'll be especially hard for those that have spent an exuberant amount of time collecting shiny Pokemon for them not to transfer either. We will see where all this leads and if the Pokemon Company ends up making some form of concession to those who have felt left down by it. I will note that personally it is an interesting move, considering Junichi Masuda himself was quoted months back saying that he understood the frustration many players felt when they couldn't transfer their Pokemon from Generation 2 into Generation 3 due to the limitations of the systems. To me then, it seems almost counterintuitive to purposefully remove that capability in the newest entry to the franchise on the new console. Since the original announcement was made of this, Masuda was in an interview clarifying that there were no plans to have future updates of Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield, and that there would still be a valid reason for transferring your Pokemon into the upcoming service of Pokemon Home at the beginning of 2020. We have yet to know exactly what Pokemon Home will entail, and if you'll be able to still interact with these Pokemon in some way that still adds value to them, rather than just sitting on a cloud-based service. One thing we do know is that trading is a mechanic in Home, so maybe they'll add in some form of generic battle system or something along those lines as well. And now on to new third-party cross-platform games that interested me. Elden Ring is another that seemed like it has the potential to be a really fantastic game. I have yet to jump into Game of Thrones. Believe me, it's still something I'll find time to do eventually. But its core creator George R.R. Martin is the storyteller of this game, and it appears to be a good fit with the development studio as well. I greatly look forward to seeing more divulged about this game as its release nears. Marvel's Avengers is a game I was probably obnoxiously excited for, and although many people were off-put by the characters' appearances not matching that from the MCU, I am very much thrilled to experience this amazing looking new Avengers world firsthand. Gods and monsters looked very intriguing. The art style and storytelling was very appealing to me, and I'm looking forward to learning more about this game as it approaches its launch in early 2020. I have always been someone who is fascinated by mythology and ancient stories, so I'm interested to see the different ways they incorporate them into this game. Minecraft Dungeons had my 8-year-old excited the most of all, though I can't deny it seemed pretty fun to me also. I like that the developers of this game have continued to try and find new ways to enjoy the sandbox world of Minecraft, and honestly, it seemed the dungeon crawling style of this game would be packed, full of things to do and puzzles to solve. Perfect for a family gaming adventure. Although this doesn't even scratch the surface of all the amazing games that were revealed in the past month, these are the ones that were most exciting and interesting to me. This time of year is always so much fun to be a gamer, as competing studios work so hard to impress and wow us, their customer base, and show us off the amazing games that we'll get to enjoy in the coming year. I look forward to playing and experiencing many of these games firsthand and then bringing my experiences and feedback back to you. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, this is Professor Noki signing off for Noki Talks.